Hey everyone, what's going on? Phoenix here. Today I am really excited to announce the second season of the Levistras Explorers League. This one's going to be called the Banderleague, and I also get to be involved in designing this league, which I'm super excited about. I had a ton of fun working with an adventurer to design everything that I'm going to tell you about. So let's jump right into it. So what is the Explorer Challenge? The Explorer Challenge is Levistras Season 2. It is a timed event where players will create brand new characters based on a custom rule set, and over a limited time period, kind of go through a whole season, very similar and kind of designed around seasons in Diablo or Path of Exile, if you like that. So this season is going to start on May 31st, and it's going to be a very short season. Compared to season 1, we're going to end on July 1st. So the first season lasted for 3 months, and I think some of the feedback that we got was that that was too long of a time, and there was kind of a lull in the middle where not that many people were playing. So we are going to experiment a little bit this season with doing a shorter league. The goals of this league are kind of like a season of discovery. So there's going to be a series of quests that you are going to take part in, kind of like a story arc in a game like Diablo, where we're going to run you through kind of a series of quests and see how far you can get. A lot of it you're going to have to figure out on your own, but there are going to be quests that you can complete to earn points for the league. There's going to be hidden objective quests that you won't know about, but maybe could find, and that will earn you bonus points. There are going to be select trophies that you can find on creatures. I don't really want to give examples because I don't want to give it away, but you will be able to turn those in for bonus points. And this season, as opposed to season 1, is not going to be a class-based character setup. We are doing a this or that system, which I will get into later in the video. And really, the goal of this season, as with season 1, was to just get people to cooperate with each other, try new things, and earn some rewards for participating. So how to start? We're going to make this spreadsheet available to everyone who wants to participate. You can make a copy of this. This is just a Google document. You're going to need one character slot available on one of your 2 Levistras accounts. You can make a character up to 1 week before the start of the league, same with the first league, but do not leave the training hall with that character. If you leave the training hall, you'll have to make a new character and start over. There will be a Banderleague recruiter who will spawn once the league starts in the training hall, and you will talk to them. And I believe the same thing with season 1, where you have to hand them like a pie reel just to make sure that anybody who doesn't want to participate in the league doesn't accidentally just talk to every NPC and get flagged by accident. So the challenge, as with the first one, is using an honor system. This is really just meant to be fun, and if you're cheating it, you're kind of cheating yourself out of the fun. I don't really see the point in that, so just, follow the rules, and if there's anything in question, you can always just like PM me in Discord, or, just chat in the Levistras Discord, and we'll figure out a workaround if there's a problem, or just let you know, what the rule is. Characters for this league, like I said, we're not going with a class-based system again. We're going with a skill-based system, kind of more in the regular vein of Asheron's Call. However, it is this or that. So if you train a skill, then you can't train or specialize the skill listed as the trained penalty, and you'll see that on the other tab. We'll get into this a little bit more. If you specialize a skill, then you can't train or specialize the skill listed in the trained penalty and in the specialized penalty. So if you specialize a skill, there will be 2 skills that you cannot have on your character. Attributes, you can do any attributes that you wish. Then on the summary tab where you enter your name, we are asking you once again to use the league initials in your character name, which are BL. And that just is going to help us keep track of people who are in the league. We will be using the roleplay channel again if you want to, but it's not going to be as critical this season because we're making some other changes that should make that a little bit obsolete. Based on some feedback from season 1, we're making some changes for this season that should improve quality of life and should improve the interactions between seasonal players and non-seasonal players. One major change is we're going with a 1 league character per player. So Phoenix, I can only have one Banderleague character, even though I have 2 accounts, one character for this league only. Another big change we're making is that allegiances are allowed for Season 2. We actually are highly encouraging all league characters to be in an allegiance, and especially and specifically the same allegiance. That way, you have a shared allegiance chat channel, and everyone can talk to each other in that allegiance channel, and we don't have to rely on the roleplay channel as much. As with the previous league, no Explorer gear will be allowed again. In fact, your character will not be able to get Explorer gear. Now, some other big changes are for non-league character interactions. This was definitely a point of contention and something that, everybody heard the feedback on Season 1, and so we are making some changes to hopefully make this a little bit better. First rule, no trading or exchanging of items between league characters and non-league characters. This is the same rule as Season 1, so we're leaving that in place. You can unload league items onto your non-league characters if you get, like, a rare piece of armor, or if you just get salvage and you don't need it on your league character, you can mule that, but you can never get it back onto your league character. You can't craft, tinker, lockpick, or in any way perform trade mule type actions on your non-league characters for your league characters. You cannot buff your league characters with your non-league characters, or anyone's non-league characters can buff any other league characters. Please just don't do that. You cannot use housing buff items, portal devices, or storage from any housing by any league characters. When you're running a league story quest, so I mentioned earlier that the theme of this is the season of discovery, and there will be story quests that need to be run. We are asking that only league characters participate in these story quests. For any other quest that is not a story quest, so if someone is running Defensive Zykel, or if someone is running Bobo and non-league characters want to participate, we are allowing that, and in fact encouraging everyone to play together. However, with some minor restrictions, I think minor, we are asking that non-league players are equal level or a lower level than the league characters. And this is just so that the league characters should be the ones carrying the quest, and you're not getting, some level 275 character to come out and beat a quest for you. That's really the intention of this restriction. We're asking that non-league characters make up less than half of the group. Definitely use your discretion, but if it's just 2 people doing a quest together, we definitely want the league character to be the one who's, again, carrying the quest. If it's a group of 8 league characters and 1 non-league character wants to join, that's awesome. We highly encourage that. And the goal of this is to allow level-appropriate interactions between league and non-league characters. And again, we just don't want non-seasonal characters completing everything for these league characters. Especially, we don't want alts to power level league characters. So again, this kind of just goes back to the honor system, and we're trying to just make a fun thing for everyone to participate in. So please just keep these rules in mind. I think that they improve the league non-league barrier a little bit, but still has the spirit of a seasonal content. Again, if you have any questions, a situation comes up and you're not sure, just throw it in the Discord, and then we can talk it out and figure out a good solution and make it work. I'm not really going to go into the scoring rules because we're kind of keeping it a little bit of a secret this league, but each quest you complete in a story arc quest chain is going to reward you with an increasing number of points. Repeats may also reward some points. Select trophies you could turn in for a small turn-in value. I'm also not going to get into the rewards. I think the rewards that we are coming up with are really cool, really unique to the league. If you saw the rewards from Season 1, some of those unique rewards were incredibly cool. There's a housing item that gives you like a cloaked in skill for a short period of time. There's like noob cloak and trinket, some other really cool items. So just keep that in mind. The rewards are going to be, I don't want to say similar, but as cool as those were. Now that we've gone over the rules, let's go over the character creation. So for this season, it's going to be a this or that style character restriction. So if you train a skill, then you can't train or specialize the skill listed as the trained penalty. If you specialize a skill, then you additionally can't train or specialize the skill listed as the specialized penalty. And just to make it super clear, because this was confusing on our first pass at this, if you specialize a skill, it is both the trained penalty and the specialized penalty. So we've kind of added in the specialized penalty box, both skills cannot be trained or specialized. Attributes are for you to decide however you want to build your character. We're not going to restrict that in any way. So for instance, if you decide to make a finesse weapons character and you specialize finesse weapons, you cannot have shield or recklessness in any way on your character. If you make a two-handed combat character and you specialize two-handed combat, you cannot have recklessness or creature magic in any way on your character. Now, if you just train two-handed combat, the penalty is only recklessness. So you could have a build where you say train two-handed combat and still train creature magic, which I think is quite viable. This is going to be reciprocal. So you'll see if we go down to creature enchantment, the specialized penalty for creature enchantment also includes two-handed combat, so it doesn't get confusing in that way. Something that I want to note is that summoning, we tried to make this penalty as much of a penalty as possible. So creature enchantment and life magic is the specialized penalty for specializing summoning. If you only train summoning, you can still get life magic, but not creature magic. I think that we've made this as balanced as possible with summoning. We went through a couple iterations of these skills, and I think we've landed on ones that are as balanced as we could get within the system of Asheron's Call and what we are left with. There are some skills that have no penalty, and you'll see there's no penalty listed there. Loyalty, because it's a starter skill, there's obviously no penalty for training it, but there is a penalty of leadership for specializing it, and vice versa with leadership. If you want to spec jump, run, all the more power to you. For the crafting skills, alchemy, we kind of treat it as an alternate combat skill because it does fulfill a similar role to life magic for volning and imperiling monsters. So that does get kind of a real trained specialized penalty. A lot of the other ones, there's only a trained penalty. Especially for the tinkering skills, we wanted to encourage people to get these skills and to then share with other players in the league. So we hope that that works out. We are in the process of working on a character creator. This is kind of a beta version, but I think we will have this cleaned up for when the league finally launches. But the idea is that, say you make a finesse weapons character, you can kind of visualize what the penalty is going to be. So if you train finesse weapons, you cannot get shield. If you specialize finesse weapons, you can also not get recklessness. So then you can kind of work on your build from here. You can say, hey, I want to train or specialize summoning. Now I want to get dual wield to go with my finesse character, or I want to get healing train. So now healing train is kind of free for finesse because you already took summoning and that's already a penalty. You can get mana conversion. You can get item enchantment, and now you can't get melee defense. So this is a way, it doesn't do anything with skill credits, but it's just a way for you, along with the character planner that already exists, to kind of plan out character and just truly visualize the penalties of what you're giving up by selecting a skill. So maybe you decide, oh, dual wield makes me lose alchemy, and that was my alternate to life magic. So now you take that off and you can get alchemy now. So yeah, I think this is just kind of a way, like I said, for you to visualize your character. We're also going to have some example templates. So we have a melee example, kind of what I was building before with finesse, and you can see what skills you can and can't get. We have an archer example where you can kind of do a pretty good life spec archer, not in this example, but because we're taking healing, but there's an alternate way where instead of getting healing, you instead get life magic. So that's a pretty viable build. And then we have a mage example. Originally, we had a more harsh penalty for war and void magic, but we decided to change that because skill credit cost is already so high for war and void magic that we wanted to make this more encouraged, more easy of a build to make. So we actually made this a little bit better than it was. We realized that in the first league, this was a very difficult build to play, a mage. just the way the templates worked out. So we're trying to kind of walk that back a little bit for this league and make it a little bit easier to play those types of characters. And yeah, that's this or that. And then I'm going to show you some cool teaser footage that is we really tried to make quality of life for this league a super priority. And so to make that a reality, we have designed an entire league chapter house area. And I think you're really going to like it. Let me know in the comments what you think about Season 2 of the Levistras Explorer League. I am super excited for this to start. I had a ton of fun along with an adventurer designing this league. I hope you participate and enjoy it, and I will be playing as much as I can. Look forward to playing with you. Thanks for watching.